If you're thinking about crafting the Crimson Spear and are debating whether the spear is good or not, then this video is for you. In this video, we will be talking about how good Crimson Spear is, and is it BIS or not compared to the current spear that we have in the game. And the big question is that, will it fit the Gladiator class playstyle or not? Before we jump to the video, I appreciate you all who's been subscribing to me and has been waiting for me to make this kind of video. It really pushes me to make this kind of video, and if you want more content like this, please like the video. And if you have considered subscribing to the channel, subscribe if you like this kind of content regarding Greatsword Spear. So first of all, we're going to talk about the Crimson Spear. There's a couple of area where the Crimson Spear shines, particularly attack speed wise. So if you take a look at it, it has a low base attack speed, which is 0.675 compared to other spears. It also have another added attack speed in its trait, which is 11.19%. And then if you want to take another trait for it, you can increase it up to 8% more of attack speed. So by itself, it has like 20% attack speed bonus just by itself without any other gear or anything like that. And it gives decent amount of stat too. It gives 11 dexterity and 9 wisdom. It also has a good passive, which is cooldown reduction on critical hit. So basically the spear is really designed around critical hitting someone. And then if you take a look at the stat, it gives you like 11 dexterity and 9 wisdom. If you know anything about stat in this game, is that if you increase dexterity, it always gonna increase only the max damage. As you can see, it changes from 770 to 781, but against for base damage, it stays to pretty much the same. Same thing for wisdom. It also only increases the max damage output that it gives. That's how the stat work in this game. Only for dexterity and wisdom, it pretty much increases max damage, which is the damage that you use when you crit someone, but it doesn't increase your base damage. So if you compare it to other spear, Crimson Spear doesn't really give them any base damage, just because the stat that it gives doesn't really give you base damage, but it still gives you a decent amount of like crit damage, pretty much. Alright, so this is pretty much the only build that I came with. If you really want to force playing Crimson Spear and GS Spear, this is pretty much the build that I would go. So reason being is pretty much I want to use this headpiece. The reason being is because I want mana cost efficiency in the build. That's one thing that I run into the most playing GS Spear, is there will be mana issue if you're playing GVG. Your mana drains quite a lot if you don't have the Crown Skull, or you're just relying on the 11% mana cost efficiency. I think you still need some sort of like mana solution problem. That's why I'm using this headpiece. So the reason why we want to run 2-piece Imperial and 2-piece Vanguard instead of 4-piece Vanguard is because we want the critical damage if we're playing Crimson Spear. You still can run 4-piece Vanguard if you wanted to, but I would say this is more effective because we can abuse that critical damage more if we're playing Crimson Spear. So this build also has a decent amount of hit. You have 2.1k hit. You pretty much can go more if you have like perfect artifacts, but I wouldn't put that right now because that's gonna be an inflated number. So yeah, reason why you still want to put a decent amount of hit is because you want to hit evasion user mostly, and in order to hit those evasion user, you really want a decent amount of hit chance, because you're not going to be critting endurance user at all. So yeah, the only option that you can change is probably the ring. You can change ring to more towards like the cheaper option, which is a Solitaire of Purity. Reason why I'm not using it is because I don't want the attack speed from it, and I feel like getting more stat from the Black Anvil has more value, and it also gives heavy attack chance on the Black Anvil, so it does help a little bit on like crit and heavy attacking pretty much. So overall, the big question is, will I recommend this build to people who's playing GS Spear? I wouldn't say not really. Reason being is if you want to play crit, if you're using the spear, yes, you have high attack speed, but it doesn't fit the playstyle as much as you would like, because you're going to be squishy with it within using this build. And I would say the other set is better. If you don't have archers and anything like that, you would just go like 4-piece Vanguard with Kilo Spear. This build is way better. It's more survivable. You can put like 70 Fortitude if you just have full Vanguard 5-piece, and you have like pretty much a lot of like weaken resist. You deal a decent amount of damage too. So yeah, that's the only issue that I have with Crimson Spear. Like attack speed wise, I would say Pakilo also have as quick. Not the same speed as Crimson though for sure, but it's up there. It's faster than an Arch was if you're using Pakilo, because it has the attack speed trait on it. So yeah, I would say if you're playing GS Spear, I wouldn't really recommend this spear unless if you want to do PvE. But in terms of like Spear Dagger, I would really recommend them using it because it synergizes really well with the Birkin Dagger strat. If you're playing Lightning Fusion, you can strat people's endurance, and you can actually abuse the fact that your Crimson Spear is critting people. And yeah, If you guys have any other questions, just let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about it? If you guys have a build that works on GS Spear with it, let me know. I would love to hear it. I would love your input. Join Discord if you guys want to talk about the builds and all that. Pretty much have a lot of people that's kind of nerding out on gladiators right now. So if you wanna hear people's opinion regarding builds and all that, join up Discord. And yeah, that would be all from me. I'll see you guys on the next one. Alright, peace.